Hello, hi everyone. Hi everyone out there. Thanks for joining us again today. Welcome to our MIS, the Marketing Institute of Singapore Lunchtime Webinar. Wow, time really flies again. Today is our 15th day of our Lunchtime Webinar, and thanks for joining us. I think I've seen, currently I think I'm looking at, wow, a long list of attendees today, and I'm certainly very glad to have Professor Catherine Tay. Hi ma'am, thanks for joining us. And of course, some of our very regular attendees here, Mike, Madam Sharifah from Malaysia, our president of the Marketing Association from Malaysia itself. Welcome to join us. And of course，中国的朋友，你们大家好，谢谢你们今天参加我们网上的那个会议。相信今天你们会获益不浅哦。今天我们的主讲师非常棒，待会儿我再跟你们 share。Okay, sorry, I'm just speaking in Chinese because there are some of our Chinese attendees counterparts coming from China itself, and thanks to our 中国贸促会商业行业分会CCPIT Commercial Sub Council of China itself that actually helped us to populate today's MIS webinar. Okay, now next slide please. We are delighted to actually present to you, in fact this is our second series of industry speakers, okay, and definitely we'll be here, like what I have always said, to accompany you during lunchtime right to the end of our lockdown period and even out of our circuit breaking period. So we're looking at, continuing this right up to the end of this month, other than Saturdays, Sundays, and some public holidays. In fact, every day from 12:30 to 1:30, we will keep you accompanied by having various speakers to share with you on their knowledge, okay, on the subject matters which they know very best and which we think that will be able to help you, all right, to gain some form of knowledge and some skills that you probably will be able to use that post-COVID, okay? So if you have missed out on our webinar, no worries, okay? You can always click on to our Facebook, okay? Today, in fact, we are going on Facebook Live, and just join us in our MIS Facebook and click on the like button and the share button. Help us to populate our webinar session so that more people will be able to benefit from us, okay? All right, and today, certainly, we're very glad to actually have someone very exciting to come on board, and he's none other than Mr. Eden Ang. Now, Eden, I think comes with I don't really have to promote him too much. Reason why? Because he's pretty well known as a content creator, okay? And I'll be able to share with you some of his information. So today, Eden will be sharing on how to create effective content, all right? So effective content creation. So if you can see the QR code over there, just scan on the QR code so that you'll be able to follow up on the courses that Eden will be conducting in the Marketing Institute of Singapore. So Eden happens to be one of our newly appointed trainer. So yep, do look out for him and his course, which later he'll be our main speaker for today, sharing on how to create effective content. Now, of course, if you miss out on yesterday's sessions where Iwan Setawan, the author of Marketing 4.0 together with Philip Kotler, if you miss out on that session, no worries, right? You can always visit our Facebook or Marketing Institute of Singapore, MIS YouTube page. All right, you can always view them again. Now, as promised, I promised to give away 3 Marketing 4.0 books that are being authored by Iwan Setawan. So if you have not sent in your requests on our Facebook to state why do you think you deserve to actually have the book, please do so right now, okay? And we are giving away 3 books. Now, if you happen to have even more better reasons, I can be looking at even giving maybe more than 3, okay? So it all depends on you. So if you want, please log on to our Facebook right now and like and share our sessions for today. Now, this is how you can go to on screen. I think Facebook is quite common. By now you should know. Otherwise, I think you'll be obsolete right now, okay? If you don't have a Facebook page, I don't want to say. And this digital age, I think all of you need to be digitally connected via Facebook, via LinkedIn, via other platforms, okay? So Instagram, okay? So do like us and join us on Facebook itself. Now, of course, like what I've earlier mentioned, that Eden has come on board the Marketing Institute of Singapore as our new trainer on board. And his training will be conducted via our MIS Executive Development Platform. Now, what do I mean by executive development? It's actually catered for people like you and me. We are already in the workforce for many years. Um, from time to time, we find that there's this need to actually upgrade ourselves. So this is where MIS are able to offer that kind of platform to you. The training typically will stretches from 1 day to 2 to 3 days, or right, even up to 4 days itself. So this is where you can actually find that there are various, disciplines that you can actually select from. In fact, over 9 disciplines, okay, that you can select from. So can I have the previous slides, please? Thanks. All right, so we have 120 over courses, over 9 disciplines that you can select from our course. Now, Eden happens to be our newly acquired trainer, so do look out for his course, okay? So we have courses over this 9 discipline, as in sales, events management, leadership, marketing, business management, communications, service excellence, human capital management, and personal effectiveness. I'm sure out of this 120 over course, you should be able to find something of your interest and will probably help you in your career moving on from post-COVID. Okay, right, next. Now, MIS also, we are known, in fact, for our diploma and our advanced diploma course. Okay, I'm a past graduate from MIS. Anyway, that's like many years ago. Okay, now, like what we said, as we flash on the screen itself, there are 3 diplomas. In fact, 1 advanced diploma, which I will particularly highlight to all of you here. That is the advanced diploma in digital marketing. Now, if today, as a marketer, if you do not have the skills to do digital marketing, then I think you better reconsider your career again, because digital marketing, it's actually one of the critical skills, or I would say core skills that are being needed by most marketers out there. Now, it doesn't just applies to marketer. In fact, as a business owner itself, you need to know some form of digital marketing in order to help your business to transform from traditional to online, or even omni-channels itself. Now, this is where you can actually pick up our advanced diploma in digital marketing. Now, you'll be surprised that we actually make it quite easy for you. We do consider that you're all working. So that's why our training-wise, we make it, in fact, at your own leisure. Uh, you just find out about the course and the durations. You'll be pretty surprised that, how easy we have actually map up the whole course for you to attend. Now, in fact, you'll be able to get this within 8 months itself on a part-time, 6 to 8 months, okay? I think it's 8 months, right? Okay, so do log on to our MIS Business School website, or you can even call us, if you need to inquire more. And of course, we have our diploma in sales and marketing. That is our ever popular diploma. Now, if you are in sales and marketing, if you need to upgrade yourself, or if you have someone around you, perhaps your niece, your nephew, your sons, your daughters, or someone who is taking their ITE or even their diploma right now, and they need another diploma, that's why they can consider the diploma of sales and marketing or the diploma in business offered by the Marketing Institute of Singapore Business School. So do join us, find out more, so you can actually call the number that's being flashed on your screen right now. Next, right, which brings me to my next slide. Okay, now, of course, from time to time, I've been asked, Roger, can get some form of discount to come to your course, and how can I join you as a member? Remember, MIS, we are actually an association-based organization. We do have membership that you can join us. So, in fact, our associate members, currently we, in support for our stay-at-home SG itself, stay-home SG, we are giving it free at this period of time. So don't miss out on this period of time to join us as our associate member. Now, for those that are from overseas 国外的朋友 ，OK， 如果是说你要参加我们成为我们的国际会员 or our international associate members, you are welcome to join us. Okay, all right. So please log on, or you can actually call that 2 numbers, Ms. Judy and Mr. Agel, to find out how you can join us as a member to enjoy further discount on the courses that we are offering right now. Okay, next. Now, of course, MIS, we are also doing our mass donation. Like what I've said, in fact, we're not looking at just our local community. we are asking for mass donation for overseas. We're working with our counterpart from the Philippine Marketing Association. So hopefully we can get you to actually donate masks by clicking on the QR code, which is on my next slide itself. So yeah, you can see there's a QR code over there, right? So do click on the QR code and see if and check on how you can actually join us in the mass donation. Now, in Singapore, like what we said, we are very, very fortunate. It's easy for us to get hold of masks, but not in the developing countries. Yeah, if you look around us, the general folks in Philippines itself, it's even for them to actually get hold of a mask, the very basic protection to protect them against the COVID-19 virus itself. It's quite difficult for them to actually get hold of the mask, especially when there's shortages of masks right now in the neighboring countries such as Philippines. So do help us in the mask donation. Okay. Now next. Okay. Now basically, I think today we are having Eden. Okay, Eden will be sharing with us on effective effective content creation. In fact, Eden's anyway for quite a while, not too long actually. Now, I've been following his YouTube, and you know what? I caught him one of these days. At the time, Eden, you know what? You kept me up the whole night watching your YouTube. I didn't expect that. In fact, I was just like browsing on YouTube, trying to look out for some humorous content to keep me entertained. And when I chanced upon his Eden production, it was like the whole night keeping me awake right up to the next morning. I think Eden will tell you more. Okay. And then Eden also holds a Bachelor of Arts in Chinese Studies graduate. 那中国的朋友你要知道我们的 Eden 其实他的那个本科是以华文为主，就是他是以学习华文为主所以他的华文也是很棒的。So his degree is awarded by Canterbury University, right, from New Zealand. So he also furthered his studies at the New York Film Academy on scholarship offered by the IMDA of Singapore. That speaks volume on why he's able to produce very good content. Now, in his career in the entertainment industry and as a content creator itself, has brought him recognition as a passionate talent who has a keen eye for detail and trusted by his skill for his technical know-how and creative flair. Eden is no one new as a speaker. He has been giving talks at Google, Kaplan, IT colleges, including IT College East, as well as collaborating with renowned brands such as Samsung, YouTube, Facebook, Adidas, and among others, right? So I think, wow, Eden's credential is interesting. Although at a very young age, I think he has accomplished a lot. We certainly can learn something from them, especially for digital migrants like me, to learn from them, to learn from a digital native. So without further ado, let's welcome Eden into the room. Hi, Eden.
How's it going, man? Hello, Roger.
Hey, great. Now, Eden, I'm going to share something with the audience, if you don't mind. Okay. So, yep.
Only good stuff here, Roger. Only good stuff.
Okay, sure, no problem. Now, I've actually chanced upon a TVC a couple of days ago, and I thought it was quite hilarious. I would like to share with the attendees today on this particular TVC. Okay, so can I play it right now?
Nobody move. Aren't you gonna help us?
Well, you're only about 30% off the cliff. It's not that bad. When it shifts to about 60%, I'll use my powers to help you then. Amazing, man.
Help that saves lives shouldn't wait, especially when it comes to cancer. That's why FWD Cancer Insurance offers 100% payout for all cancers, even for early stages, from $7 a month. Buy online at fwd.com.sg.
Okay, as I've just shared, I think it's a TVC which I find, if you take a look at the whole video itself, I don't see any relation with insurance on cancer protection. But however, because of the creative content that was being created, humorous content itself, it captured my attention, and then that's where I further look into, hey, who actually produces this? So it's none other than FWD Insurance. So content like that, I think is interesting. It may not be able to, you probably won't be able to draw a relationship, but at least it captured your attention. Now I'm going to show the audience right now, for those 国外的朋友哦，可能你们对 Eden 不了解哦，所以这个时候呢，我播一些 Eden 的那个作品给大家看。如果要关注 Eden 的话，你可以上我们的那个 YouTube， 可能在中国要翻墙去那个 YouTube 那边看。所以 Eden, if you don't mind, can show some of your production.
Please.
Okay,
Please,
right, please go ahead.
EPP, so what is it you're doing in the army,
In the army we do very manly things that's top secret. Cannot tell people one. It's very yeah.
Positions 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, go. Shape 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go. 1 and a 2, I 1, 2, 3, look. 1 and a 2, and I 1, 2, 3, look. Snipers, pew!
Don't you dare! Chao Gang!
Humerus is broken, no? I think best be.
What thing lah? Stupid show lah! Where got guy watch this kind of thing?
Yeah, stupid lah, stupid girlfriend, you know.
很久很久以后，我们才知道，当一个男孩说我们没有看过我的少女时代，不是真的没有看，而是我们不好意思啊。
Okay, there you have it. Some of Eden's production. Now, Eden is someone that's, well, to me, very creative. He's able to produce, he's able to write, he's able to film and then edit and everything, in fact. So, well, I would think that it's a very useful skills for us, in fact, in today's age. So, Eden, welcome, and please share your knowledge with us, and then so that we can all know more about you. Okay? All right, take it on, Eden.
Thank you, Roger, and thank you for sharing something with me cross-dressing. It had to ironically be that one. Now, I hope you guys are looking at a screen right now that says effective content creation. I'm gonna get rid of this little screen right here now. Okay, perfect. Now, what I need you guys to do is to shift your little video of me, right? I'm probably in the middle right now. I want you to shift me to the top right corner so that I'm not blocking any of the slides, and we're gonna have effective, clear content creation. On that note, let's get started. So I do know that you guys are all in different parts of the world, different ages, different backgrounds and all this. So I had to do something to sync all of you guys together. And that is the number one thing I'm gonna do right now. Now, it will really help if you had a piece of paper and a pen with you. If you don't, I'll give you a few seconds to grab that very quickly. And if you don't have access to paper, just please have very good memory. Let's do this. I need you to think of a number between 1 and 10. Please do not tell me, do not type it in the chat. Just keep that number to yourself. A number between 1 and 10. Now, I need you to multiply that number by 9. And it should give you a 2-digit number. So number of your choice times 9. Next, I need you to add the 2 digits that you got together, right? If you only have 1 digit, then just add a 0 to it. Once you've added that together, I need you to subtract 5 from that number. And if your mathematics is not, it's not fail, it should give you a smaller number. From that, I need you to find the corresponding alphabet, meaning if your number is 1, your alphabet is A. If your number is 2, your alphabet is B, etc., etc. Find your corresponding alphabet. Cool. With that alphabet, please think of the name of a country. Any country, try to make it difficult for me. Now I want you to take the second letter of that country, right? Your country name, the second letter of that country, and think of an animal. Yeah, not a bird, not some sort of weird insect, but an animal, preferably a mammal. If it's something in the zoo, it would probably be easier. Now think of the animal in your head right now, and what you're looking at is the animal in your head. And if that had worked, it means that I have synced all your brains together from all over the world, and we're on to something. On that note, hello, my name is Eden, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that little magic trick. It was actually done by my high school mathematics teacher. She did not like me very much. I did not like her. I would say I learned very little from her classes, but she did do this one magic trick, and this has stuck in my head till today. So now the next step is you guys are wondering, yeah, well then why did you waste our time watching this magic trick? Well, simply because I think a lot of people think that content creation is a YouTube video, is a TV commercial, is an Instagram video, but content creation is a lot more than that. Magic is also a type of content. So is a puppet show. It could just be a still painting. It could be something like, you can see there, a song. You know, it doesn't have to be visual. It could just be purely audio. It could be like a radio clip, right? So content creation is a lot more than what we think it is, right? So broaden the minds. So what is content creation? If I also do a quick Google search about this, this is the definition that Google gave me. It says, content creation is the process of generating topics, ideas that appeal to your buyer's persona, creating written or visual content around those ideas, and making that information accessible to your audience as a blog, video, infographic, other format. It's too chunky, it's too long. I fell asleep twice within that paragraph. That is not what we want. We want to make content creation very simple. Let's break it down to simply two words. What is content? Content is the principal substance, which means something. Creation means to bring something into existence, which means to make. Put them together, it means to make something. And when I say make something, you can make literally anything, right? Your imagination is your own limit. You can imagine, you can create whatever you want. So then it begs the question, what is it to us? Well, your content is the story you want to tell. Or if you are a marketer, or as Roger says, a marketeer, it would be the story you want to sell. Perfect. So now that we know it's so broad, we're going, well, where do we start? So let's do a small experiment, and I believe that that will help you find out what that story is that you want to tell. So today I've put you on top of the tallest mountain in this world, right? You're at the top of the mountain and you've got this loud hailer. You have the loudest loud hailer in the world that can project to every single person in this globe. And you only have 10 seconds. So I make sure that everyone in this world is listening for this 10 seconds in this lifetime. They need to drop everything that they're doing, full attention, full focus on just you. And remember, you only have 10 seconds to tell them your story, tell them something about you or your company. What is that story going to be? Now, I want you to write that down on a piece of paper in front of you, because you're going to need that throughout the webinar. So give a good think to it, yeah? If I only had 10 seconds and everyone was listening to me, what is it that I want them to hear about me or my company? Perfect. Now that you have your shout phrase, your story, okay, we are going to run it through a checklist that will help us turn it into content. For me, I'm going to do it along with you just so it makes your life easier and you get to see a few case studies. So I've made up this thing called the MIS ramen. Imagine if MIS produced ramen. And the thing I wanted to shout was MIS ramen, calorie-free, yummy. Okay, I'll give another example. I'm going to do MIS travel. So for that one, I'm going to say MIS travel, cheapest tickets. Okay, that is my shout phrase. That is my story. So now we're going to run it through this checklist. The checklist is, and I'll do it along with you as well. The checklist is the who, when, where, why, what, how checklist. Some of you might recognize it from your primary school essay where the teacher tells you to run it through all this, but it is equally as relevant when it comes to content creation. And I will explain to you why that is. So who is the face of my content? When is a good time to release my content? Where should I release this piece of content? Why did I choose this style of content? And what exactly is my story, and what do I want the viewer to do with this piece of content? So first we look at who, right? And many times people think that the best thing to do is to get a pretty face, a model, a celebrity, and just slap them on there and just go, okay, this is the face of my content. I have to say, not always true. What you want to do is you want to choose the talent that best suits your story. So I give you an example right here. Now, this is the, his name is Klaas Nilsson. I'm guessing he's German, maybe. He's the president of Volvo Trucks. He's the CEO. Let's be very honest. You and I don't really care about who this guy is. He doesn't attract us at all. But in this piece of content, he is actually talking about how strong the Volvo truck hooks are and how much faith he has in the Volvo truck hooks. When they zoom out, you see he's standing on a truck. You zoom out further, he is standing in the truck, risking his life in the middle of nowhere. If you go further, he is really risking his life. And it shows how much faith he has in the Volvo hook. Immediately, this who becomes really important to us. I'll give you another example of why you need to choose someone suitable. Let's say I'm doing a airplane commercial. I'm going to tell you how luxurious economy is. Now, if I show you this picture right here, I've chosen two fairly pretty faces and I've put them on. But what if I chose a model, someone who's really tall, you know, good looking, big size dude? This is what happens. It makes economy look horrible. It looks cramped, no nice. I wouldn't want to fly economy. So let me just move this little cursor here. So going back to this, did you know that airplane companies actually choose smaller sized people in order to feature them? So when they feature them in the commercials, they choose smaller sized people to make economy look luxurious. So who, very, very important. If it was me, I would probably market my ramen with a tiny girl because it's calorie free. And I would probably want to use someone like a scruffy guy to show that, you know, someone that looks homeless can travel the world for a really good price. Next question, when? When are we going to release this piece of content? Or rather, when is the time that we need to release this content? And then we create the content to suit the time of the release, right? So I'll give you an example. Unboxing. If I did an unboxing video about a phone, after the phone is released, nobody wants to watch that piece of content. We want to see it before it's released so it can stir anticipation in us, and then we too want to get our hands on the phone. Unboxing video. What happens if I show this on a summer or like a hot day in Singapore, right? We're walking through Singapore, we're sweating buckets. All we want is a glass of ice water. That would be beautiful. And then you see this amazing photo of Japan, snowy, beautiful Japan. Now that attracts you because it's something that, you know, you don't get to access to all the time. So super important. Where? Oh, sorry, when, right? So choose the right time to hit them with the right thing. For me, I would probably do my ramen commercial before the release of the special ramen, so it stirs anticipation, and my plain one, travel one, probably during the summer. Okay, who, when, where, right? So this is more important and more, I guess the least appreciated part of content creation, right? Where is it going to be posted? I think the average individual thinks, well, it's super simple, right? All I do is I want to just create the best video, you know, the best effects, the highest production quality, blah, 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 slap it on. Very, very untrue. I'll give you two examples. Now, this was a recent video that got popular. What it is it's a fight scene choreography that someone does. They send it to their friend, and then they add another choreography. Now, why is this so suitable when it comes to martial arts? Yeah, because it's this way, right? So when a fighter is standing there, you can see him or her from head to toe. You can see the whole action take place. The side's complete waste of time. If I was to take that same piece of content and slap it on like a YouTube, TV, movie screen, you get what's on the right, which is complete two black wasted space next to me. Unnecessary. Please do not do that. Another thing, right? Super important. When people go into making their content, they go, you know what? We're going to get our company to burst its budget by getting the most expensive camera. Right here, I found a $46,000 camera. I'm going to shoot it on Super HD. And then I release it on something like WhatsApp or YouTube or Insta story. You know, it's a complete waste, right? So if in order to be effective, you need to know where it's going to be posted and then craft it so it suits the platform that it's going to be on. For me, if it's the ramen slurping one, maybe I want to see the tiny girl slurping a ramen, so I want it this way, for example. Or if I want to do the travel one, I would probably want to do it landscape, because as the name goes, landscape, I get to see huge, beautiful landscape, hot air balloons in Turkey, whatever it is, I get to see loads, right? Now, why? Okay, why in the world are you doing it in that specific genre? All right, so the one that Roger brought up, great example for humor, right? I think it was FWD Insurance. Yeah, humor works. The videos that were shown to you from my production as well were the same. They were humor. But I do want to let you understand that humor is not the be all and end all. It is not the #1 rule about creating content, right? Don't squeeze your brains trying to come up with the funniest thing. It doesn't always have to be. And I'll give you a few examples. Look at this. Every cigarette you smoke takes away 14 minutes of your life. Okay, this hits you hard. Okay, this is not a happy thing. This is something that impacts me, not in a funny way, but impacts me in a shock, in a scare way, right? So that's what we're wanting to do. We're just trying to make the audience feel an emotional spike, and that is our goal. Look at this Pantene one. It is absolutely cute. This baby is super, super, super cute. We're talking about hair products here. And as you can see, is it funny? Not really. But what it is it's nostalgic. It's also a cute factor. And the cute factor also gives you a spike in your emotions. Just like when people share cat videos or dog videos with you. Why do they share it? Because they feel something for it, right? I'm just gonna move my screen right here. So that's another example right there. For me, I want to give you a shock value when maybe I'll make my talent eat 50 bowls of ramen noodles at one go. That is shock value, right? If I tell you this guy travels the world in under $100, okay, that is curiosity value. Okay, the spike in me goes, oh, okay, he got to do that. How can I do the same as well? Curiosity, I've caught you that way. Either way, it's a spike in the viewer's emotion. Now, who, when, where, why, what? Okay, what is it exactly that we're trying to say? So what to me is kind of like the check for your content. So often people get to this stage and they've gone, all right, I've got this super HD video, tells amazing things, it's hilarious to the core, but then ask yourself, does it still encompass that 10 seconds that you had at the start when you're at the top of the mountain? Is it still shouting your brand? Or is it something that people are going to share just because it's funny, but they've completely lost the core message, right? The other thing you want to ask yourself is, am I going to squeeze like a cube? Am I going to try to shove a cube in with all the aspects of my company? Not really. What we want to choose, we want to choose one effective, attractive part of our company and focus our content around that one idea. So it's easy for the viewer to take in. For me, I'm going to go eat MIS ramen. That is my what, and is still my what. I'm going to say book with MIS travel, and that is still my what. And do remember at this point, the who, and where, why, what. The what is also what is the action you want them to take. So by me saying eat MIS ramen, I want you to take the action of buying the ramen. Same with MIS Travels. What is it? I want you to go book on my website. So what is it that you want the viewers to do? The most important part. Who, when, where, why, what, how. How in this world, with all this information that I just got from Eden, how am I going to execute this, right? How? That is the most difficult part. And hello again, I'm Eden, and this is where I come in, right? So if you want to know how to do it, you need to be at my course, right? Because I will teach you how to make it effective and how to actually carry it out. And at this point, you're wondering, well, what is it that you're going to do in the course? So I've come up with a poem that I'd like to recite to you today, my poem. And it is about what I'm going to teach in the class. And remember, poem is also a type of content. This is what you're going to do. When you sign up to my classes, I will squeeze your brain for all it's worth, search your hearts from sky to earth, package the story that you want to sell, and set up your cameras so very, very well. You're going to know your audience inside out, get your buyers to scream and shout. By the end of it, you will know it well. So sign up now or go to the MIS website for further details. Now, I don't want you to go home thinking, look, I got nothing out of this. I mean, I got the effective part of it, but he left me hanging, right? For the how aspect. I don't want to be that bad of a person. I will let you in on a little secret of how, okay? It's just the tip of the iceberg, but I can tell you this is super, super effective. And I think you should have it, but it's a secret, so shh, keep it to yourselves. It is called the hero, hub, and help theory. Let's break it down. Hero, hub, and help. What is hero content? Hero content is something that hits you super, super hard. It's attention grabbing, it's extraordinary, it shocks you, it amazes you, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry. It's huge, huge impact, right? That's your hero content. But do remember that a hero does not save a lady from a burning building and then go there and slowly give out the name cards and have coffee with them. They don't do that, do they? They go there, they hit them with a hard question, they hit them with a hard action, and boom, they've disappeared, they're gone. You never see them ever again. And you leave the audience, key phrase, wanting more. That is your hero content. I'll give you a few examples. For me, I would go, tiny girl eats 50 bowls of ramen at one go. Bam, huge impact, hero content. I could do the world's longest ramen slurp, right? She's slurping ramen from the top floor of a building, right? Super long slurp. How does the ramen not break? Amazing, hero, bang, in your face. If it comes to travel, I'm gonna do guy traveled the world with under $100 or with only $100, right? This gives you shock, right? How in the world did this guy do it? Bang, 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 big impact, hero, short and sharp, okay? Long lost twin found found across the globe. Shock factor as well. These are hero contents. Now, if you're wondering what a good example of that would be, that I'm sure most of you have seen this. It's not that you're a Volvo user or anything, but this hero content hit you, right? Right, like a ton of bricks. Hero, superhero content. This guy jumps in from outer space with Red Bull plastered all over him. It's hero. It makes you watch, and it screams like Red Bull in your face. The hub content. Now that you've shocked them, you don't just shock them, bye-bye, never see you ever again. It's shock you, bye-bye, but I hope you follow me, because this is when you become the hub. You are the core center, and all these different viewers are connecting to you, right? If you look at the little diagram that I have there, the blue is you, everybody else is drawn into you, is connected to you. And how do you do that? You do that by letting them know a little bit of who you are, letting them in on your personality, and telling them some details about you that they will feel connected to. For example, if it was my ramen example, I would probably bring you on a tour of the ramen factory. So you feel like, hey, I get to see how hygienic they are. I get to see the process that they go through. You will naturally feel like you know me more. Or it could be the science behind creating the ramen flavors. That's also very interesting, and that is sharing something about me. If I was to go to MIS Travel, it would be like, telling you the story of how a sole hitchhiker with no money then became the CEO of the company. That's why he created this app that lets you travel for cheaper or whatnot, right? So it's a little bit about the history, the background, and makes you feel like, hey, you know what? I know MIS travels well now. Another example could be what's in my bag. So I open up my travel luggage and I go, this is what I usually travel with, you know? So it's like you get to see my personal belongings and you get to know me as a person. So you're all connected to me, and I've created a hub. Here are a few examples of hub content. Wiz Khalifa, not a huge fan, but if I was to watch his MTV Cribs and he brings me into his house and I see all this expensive stuff he has, and I go, okay, that's kind of interesting. I get to know more about him, maybe a photo of his mom and dad on the side, and I get to see that. I get to feel like, hey, you know, I feel some sort of connection. I feel relatable to this person. Draw My Life is a perfect example. A lot of content creators have been doing Draw My Life, in which they talk you through their childhoods, what they've gone through and whatnot. And it's a form of vulnerability where people can really feel like they get to know you in a deeper level. Hero, hub. Now people wonder, what are they going to go home with, right? Are they going to go home empty-handed, right? You've caught their attention. They're stuck to you. They want to know more about you, but they don't want to go home feeling like, yeah, so I wasted my time watching you. No, you want to offer them help content. Help content is where you help them become better. You become edifying to them. For example, how does the viewer become more like you, right? Or how does the viewer try what you tried? Or something like, how can the viewer do this particular thing and make their life easier? You want to be a help to them. You want to touch their lives. You want to shock them, bring them to you, and then you want to go inside their lives as well. That's the help content. For me, I would do something like 5 easy ramen recipes so that you too at home can try these ramen recipes. Or it could be 8 tricks to make the ramen QQ, like very chewy, right? That you could also do to your own ramen. So you could also be a part of it. I could go 10 easy steps to book a flight for under $100. Right? So you too can do that. You too can travel exactly like the hero content that you saw, like the ad. You too can do it. Or top 3 tips on how to spice up your itinerary. It's all to help you. It's all to help the viewer. Here's an example. Gordon Ramsay teaches me how to cook a perfect burger. Wow, that is big help. And this one, my wife is into it. I'm not very into this kind of stuff, but makeup tutorials is going to teach you how to paint your face until you look like someone from inside out. This happens to be a YouTube video with 207 million views, right? Just painting your face purple with huge eyebrows, apparently. But what's amazing about it is it's help content. After you watch it, you're like, hey, I too can possess this ability. And all of a sudden, this content becomes so exciting and interesting to you because it applies to you. So if you combine hero, hub, and help, and you join it all together and you run it through the who and where, why, what, how list, it will give you effective content creation. And if you do it, here's the icing on the cake. If you were to do it well, effectively, and seamlessly, the magic is that people won't even know what hit them. I'll give you another example. I've actually put you guys through that whole process. I did the magic trick. That was my hero content. It was something that kept you puzzled, that shocked you, hero content. My hub content is when I told you a little bit more about what content creation was. I drew you in, I told you more about it, and then I hit you with the help. The help was something that I gave you that you can go home, apply it to your own content, right? So hero, hub, and help. And if you're still watching it till this point, it proves that it does work. It attracts and it retains. So now let's look back at that piece of paper that we have in front of us, of that 10 seconds thing that we want to shout out to the world, right? Whatever your story is, I want you to have the most effective content that you're going to create to tell your 10 seconds, to do your shout, to tell your story. And if you do sign up to my course, I would like to join you on that journey. That's me right there with a loud hailer helping you shout out your information. And I'd love to join you on this journey sincerely. So please do sign up. And I'd hope to go on this journey, help you improve, and also be a part of your storytelling. Thank you very much. Think I'm gonna shoot it over to Roger.
Hi, wow.
bro?
Eden, that's really very interesting presentation today. And then I think earlier on your slides, can we show back the slides, Eden, your last slide itself on the QR code? Okay, for audience out there, for all the attendees, now there's a QR code which I think Eden is going to flash again. Eden, are you able to get back on that?
Yeah.
Last slide?
Are you
Yes.
seeing it now?
Yep, correct. That's the QR code. Please scan for the QR code itself. Otherwise, we'll make it easier for you. You can always log on to our Facebook or on our website, and you can look out for Eden's course coming up. So, Eden, exciting, fantastic. I love the whole presentation. I love your hero content, your magic trick that you're doing. Oh my God, it really hits me. Love that. Now, I think we're seeing a lot of attendees coming from the Asia Marketing Federations. Hi, folks. I think I'm seeing some of the presidents out there. Madam Sharifah, I think quite a few, in fact, from Mongolia, from Cambodia, and yeah, and of course, some of our trainers also came on board. And of course, 中国的朋友也是有在。Eden，我相信你会讲一些中文，对不对？中文是你的，
当然会，放心，中文当然会讲。
你的大学的那个文凭是什么？
它名是就 Bachelor of Arts in Chinese Studies， 但是讲中文的也是会。
OK，我觉得你的中文还不错，还很好，所以我们就是说其中一样项目就是会把你的课程带入中国，对不对？So I've just mentioned that we're going to bring Eden's course, in fact, into China. This is what we'll be talking to some of our partners. Now, I do have some questions coming from the floor. That's from Mr. David. Hi, David. Nice meeting you again. You were here yesterday, we know. Okay, you think that B2C content creation is easier than B2B? Give one example how you can do a 10 seconds creation for a B2B content.
Hang on. Can you elaborate on that first?
Okay, I think this is the questions from David Chu. I think he's saying that, you know, it's easy for you to create a consumer content. I mean, direct at the end consumers or to the public itself, you know, where you have a broader audience. But when it comes to B2B, it's quite specific, you know, it's about product, it's about things like that. How can you create a content or video content or whatsoever that caters to the corporate customers of yours? Now, take for example, along the distribution channels, if you are a vendor itself, how can you create to a corporate customers? So, so he's saying that how do you do a 10 seconds creation for a B2B?
So that's a super good question. Coincidentally, I was on a call with my best friend, and his job is actually connecting businesses. So he actually hit me with this question, so it's perfect. And he had this going on. He actually he knew of a bar, right? A bar that was not exactly doing new things. They kept just doing the same drinks, this particular bar. And then he knew this company that was innovating with kombucha or something like that. And he was like, look, you need this guy and this guy needs you, but somehow you don't see the link, right? So in that instance, he was asking me how to get this done. Now, I would say that when you are broadcasting to a huge audience, you're trying to hit everyone of a certain demographic. You know, you have to put out content that's so generic, right? But when you're actually going B2B, it's actually a good thing. It's actually easier because you know that, hey, look, these are the few aspects that I want to sell about myself, and I know they're attracted to. So your battle doesn't become, okay, how am I going to catch their attention? No, not really. You already have their attention. What you want to do here is you want to show how you are different from the other businesses around you that provide a similar service. So I would say that goes more into originality, knowing your unique selling point very, very well and cashing in on that unique selling point. Right. So I'll give you an example. A friend of mine was he still is a chiropractor. A friend of mine is a chiropractor, and he asked me like, yeah, so how am I going to advertise my, I mean, this is a slightly different example, but he said, how am I going to advertise my services to companies? right, to specific companies. Well, I go, yeah, okay, well, I mean, companies have a budget to get you certain different types of certain types of healthcare, but what is it that's going to make them target straight into chiropractic? I said, well, you know what you want to do is you want to do something like a help video, right? And you want to give free information about the few things that you're doing wrong in your office, you know, because you know they're office people, the few things that you're doing wrong and how you can fix that by yourself. And then if you want further information, show up at the chiropractic service.
Okay. And, maybe what we can do, Eden, if you can you name, like, take for example, from an engineering firm, somewhere up the distribution channel itself, that they want to actually target at a production facilities or production factory offering their machinery, you know, in that sense, probably from a B2B. What kind of content do you think would be, should be made available, or perhaps, you know, should craft some kind of content, video content for them? So from that sense, if you are given that kind of task, what would you do, Eden?
Can you throw me an item? Like just come
Okay.
up with any item and I'll sell that.
Perhaps, okay, we're looking at a production machinery, maybe a plastic injection molding machine, selling that machine to a manufacturer of plastic bottles. So, you know,
Right.
what kind of video content you think would be suitable on a B2B platform?
Yeah. So if you were to give me like a very short amount of time to do that, I would say in this, you want to play with efficiency. I would want to play with a short amount of time. I would do something like get that whoever it is, right? This could be done on a video conference kind of platform as well, where you could say, throw me something that you want me to make happen, anything, right? And they go, right, plastic toy gun. And you go, sure, okay, I'll get back to you in 1 day about it, right? So then you calibrate your machines, you create that that piece that they want, and you show it to them within that time. You then film down the whole process, and you said, mold. You say, I'll say, product of your dream molded within 24 hours. Right? You're kind of showing off, but you're also introducing what you have, what your company offers.
Great. I think you touched on the important point of selling the unique selling proposition of the product, and then trying to actually do it over video content itself. All right. Nothing beats, you know, just a product data sheets or specs itself. I think creating video contents will be more effective and able to actually get it visual. I think visual is important here. Okay,
can I build on that as well, Roger? I just wanted to say, I think this is also a very important point. People need to know that content creation is not like, it's not like how do I say this? It's not limited to that one piece, right? So a lot of people squeeze their brains thinking, how do I make this one key super expensive production, bang, I put it out there, I don't produce everything ever again. No, not like that. You want to produce content, but you want to keep evolving. So as your company comes up with something new, you want to keep evolving. So like what you said, right, what we're talking about through video as well, I think when you're going B2B, you also want feedback, right? You want to see what they like about it. How can I customize myself to then achieve even more effectively what your business is wanting? And then my next content highlights the improvement that I've made. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, of course.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think it's about bringing across the point itself effectively. At the same time, getting feedback on the effectiveness of what you have produced. All right. Yeah. Okay, Eden. Now I've got next questions. I think someone coming from China itself. As to Hero Hub, okay. Is there a sequence among the three?
No. Right. Okay. That's a super good question as well. I love that question. Thank you. Is there a sequence to the three? For example, right? I think before I go into, is there a sequence to the three? I think it's also important to say that it does not have to only touch one, right? For example, if I was doing my man travels the whole world in under $100, that's actually my hero content. But in watching that video, you're actually getting a little bit of help together, right? Like maybe you don't know much about the guy. You're not exactly in love with the character yet, but you did see the character do something cool. And by watching that, you're kind of actually learning like, Oh, that's quite interesting. I'm getting some tips as well. So this is an example of it's hero, but it's got elements of help together with it, right? And here's another thing. Like, I'll give you an example of, for example, let's say a newspaper article, right? Like someone in the newspaper interviewed someone about their lives, right? A really touching story about this person's life. This person went bankrupt, but he figured that, you know, his company that used to produce cloth for curtains went bankrupt because people are not interested in curtains anymore. So he tells his life story, but now that he's bankrupt, he actually used the cloth to try to create things. Nothing worked. And then suddenly COVID hit and he went, oh, why not I turn my curtain cloth into masks? And then he starts making masks. And then you go, oh, that's really interesting. That's not his hero content. That is not his help content either. That is his hub content. But his hub content has the effect of hero onto the viewer, right? So it's not a steadfast thing. It's more a theory or like a tool that you can use.
So it's like a guideline, you know, you can actually work along that tree, hero hub. It doesn't have to come as a sequence, and it's not just a formula for all.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
you can actually mix and match and perhaps, you know, work something out from that. Excellent answer. So, okay, I mean, from the floor itself, if you do have more questions, please post them up. Otherwise, either I've got one question or from me itself to you. No, I've always wanted to know, hey, you know, creating content like what you did on your production, what is the budget that we should set aside as a corporate, you know, to create like 10 seconds or 15 seconds? Or do you think 10 seconds is sufficient or 15 seconds is sufficient? What kind of budget should we allocate? Or are we able to do it like you have just shown, like a very expensive camera where you get high definition camera itself. But the thing is that we are actually watching it via phone, laptop that doesn't even pick up, you know, the kind of resolutions. So what would your advice be to set aside a budget, you know, coming from a
like financial standpoint?
That's right.
Okay. This could be a seminar on its own, right? This is a super, it's a great question. It's a very layered question. I could go on for hours talking to you about this. Let's take myself as an example, right? So the very first videos that I ever made, they were done like this. I just spoke into the camera. Did it cost me anything? Yeah, I guess it cost me my phone, and then my brother had to like download some software for me, you know. So the cost it's very minimal, right? Like take for example a really popular challenge, the bottle flip challenge, right? You're just flipping a bottle, right? So okay, so let me sidetrack. Right? I got sidetracked about something I'm excited about, and so let me talk about that before going back to your budget. Now, a lot of people ask this question, right? Eden, how do you make a video that goes viral? If I had the answer, I would not live in this house. I would live in a 8-story mansion if I had the answer. The truth is that there is no one key of what goes viral. Like nobody knows. No one can predict that. Nobody can predict that Jean-Claude Van Damme, whose career died many years ago, does a split between 2 trucks and it becomes a big hit, right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows how that's going to go down. But I do have some tips on what can make something go, what are some tips to help something so-called go viral? So you have to focus on 3 things, right? The first one is it needs to be very easy to carry out. So if you remember the ice bucket challenge and everyone was like going crazy, everyone was doing their own version of the ice bucket challenge. That's so easy. Right? It's not a backflip. It's not like a flying, like a spinning ballet move. It's not. It's simple. Anyone can do it. The next one is it needs to be easy for you to make it your own. Right? I'm sure you guys have seen pretentious people on TikTok. They look super ugly. They cover the camera like that. And then all of a sudden they become beautiful. And it's called the Don't Judge Challenge. This is very easy to make your own. Anyone can do it in your own style. And that makes people want to share it because you're actually showing your personality to whoever's out there. The last one, I would say it needs to be very easily accessible. And this, I mean, price-wise as well. Why is the bottle flip video so popular? Because it's so cheap. It's just a bottle. So if you tick all these boxes, right, it tends to make things go, I wouldn't say go viral, but it makes things easier to share, right? So let's fly all the way back to the question about what budget I should allocate, right? If I wanted to target on something that was really trendy, I would say don't spend a lot of money. Do something like a bottle flip or an ice bucket challenge. Super low cost, but easy to share, right? I could go to the other side of the spectrum. How much money did Red Bull spend to send this guy to jump in from outer space? I'm sure a lot of money. Now, let's think about one of the most popular videos on YouTube, right? It's called Charlie Bit Me. I think a lot of you guys have heard this. It's a little boy puts his finger in his brother's mouth, his brother bites it, and he goes, "Oh, Charlie bit me." It costs like no money to make, right? But it went super, super popular. So I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all question, but to give that question a bit of a structured answer, I would say that you need to have a few essentials. So what I usually say is light, camera, sound. This is assuming, to make it easier, we'll just talk about something which is like a visual content, something on like TV, movies, YouTube, whatever. I would say light, camera, sound. Camera doesn't need to be super expensive, any DSLR, LED light, and you need sound gear. If I was to give a rough ballpark to this, I would say startup kit, less than $8,000. You should be able to do it for less than $8,000. But if you are watching and you guys are like a uni student, Polytech student, you're a startup or whatever, and you're going, I don't have $8,000. Well, you know what? Use the money. Your brain is worth way more than that. Come up with amazing content that you can shoot on your phone and people would still love to watch, right? So as you say, content is very relevant. Content creation is key. And rather than budget, brain juice.
I think that's a great answer. That means, really, I mean, it all depends on how much you can afford. And at the same time, it doesn't need very much. In fact, it needs really creative juice and good content itself. So you'll be able to pick that up from you, of course.
Sure.
Okay, right. Now we've got a questions from Georgina. Hey, hi. Georgina has been joining us quite frequent. In fact, thanks for joining us every day in our MIS lunchtime webinar. Now she has got a questions. Content creation for marketers can get pretty time consuming. Number one, how do we leverage fully on the content created? And number two, when so we know if the content has lost its traction and it's time to create newer content.
Okay, can I say that back to you? The question is, how do we
leverage fully on the content created? Yeah.
How do we leverage on the content created, and how do we kind of know the effectiveness of it, and when do we know we need to create new content?
Yeah, that's right. There's lost.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Georgina, was it?
Yeah, from Georgina.
Yeah. Georgina, I hear that you are a regular attendee of these talks. So I hope you attended Ivan's talk. Ivan, who did it, I believe it was last Friday, because Ivan covered this, right? Ivan told you how to use Google Analytics, how do you track the performance of your video. I would say that yes, there are ways of doing that, even though this is not specifically in the field, because I'm more helping you guys create the content and tell your story. But I do understand that you want to know how your content created is performing. What I often tell people is content creation is alive, right? It is your child. It is not your homework. It's not you write something, stamp, sign, throw it, and never see it again. No, it's not. It's something that you need to look after, right? So if I was to create a piece of content, to answer your first, more the first question, something I would do is stick something like a QR code, which is what Roger did at the end of this, right? So have something that they can click on that you can track their response. That's how you know that something is still effective, right? A promo code or something like that. That's always a very good way. But at the same time, how do I know that it's losing its effect, right? I would say that you need to always, I think, first of all, you need to always innovate, but you always have to look at other content out there, right? You need to compare your content. If today I created a video and I say, this is the most amazing video in the world about ramen, and I don't watch any of my competitors, I don't know what they're creating. Maybe they're creating something way more creative than me and I am left behind. But if I'm constantly looking after my video, seeing seeing how my kids performing in school, right? I'm seeing all the other kids in class, seeing how they're performing, you know, trying to gauge whether my kid is doing well. I mean, that is treating your content like it's something live. And then from there, you know, like going back to I believe it was the first question, going back to how do we constantly innovate, right? Come up with new things. Well, that's what you got to do, right? So for example, before I go into that, I think it's important to also, okay, let's say I do a YouTube video, right? And my video today is about the five secret flavors of the MIS ramen. Let's say I talk about, like, off the top of my head, like garlic, chili, asparagus, prawn, whatever. And when I look at my YouTube views, right, I can see where people trickle off, right? I can see where there are spikes, which means people are rewinding and watching that part. If I see my spike at asparagus, I've got a bit of a clue. I've gone, oh, that's what people want. People are interested in the asparagus aspect of my ramen. My next video, believe it or not, will be how to make asparagus ramen, right? Because you're treating your content like it's alive, and you're molding around it and building on it and not letting it be stagnant. I think that would be the best answer to it.
Oh, great. Relying on the analytics to actually tell you what is the content that your viewers are able to relate to. Great
Definitely.
questions. All right, great answer. Okay, I'm going to address the last questions for today's session. That will be from Jovi Tan. Right, for a startup company, should I choose the right time near the actual launch date of the store and make hero content for huge impact, or should I start early to build audience? Especially now, MCO has been extended here in Malaysia, so the launch date has been delaying. So I guess it's our viewers from Malaysia. The movement, control orders, yes, in Malaysia itself. So should they start doing it right now or towards a nearer date, towards the launch date of the store itself?
Very relevant question. Okay. The way I often explain this to startups and new content creators is that you need to have a net, right? If you imagine your content and everything you produce up here, you need to have a net. Your net is where you catch your viewers, right? If your product is not out there in the market, right? It's like you have no net. They watch it and they go, cool, I enjoyed that content, but what am I going to do with that information? Drop into nothing, you've lost them. But if you had an immediate call to action, like I showed you great content, I said, all right, click now because the product is available right now, watch it, click it, buy it right now. The moment they watch it, they drop, I've caught them in my net. And in that net, they can buy the item. So now if your question is, let's say my release date is 1 week from today, right? And today I do an unboxing. Now, if I've got no pre-orders, if I have no system of pre-order, someone's gonna watch my content and go, hey, I really like this item. I really want to buy this Malaysian product of yours. I want to buy it right now. But oh damn, there was no net, didn't catch me. Maybe I'll buy it next week when it's out. By the time next week rolls around, I can tell you, Malaysians being super innovative, probably another 5 products will come out with an equally as good ad as yours, and you'll then lose them. So that's your problem. Your problem is not your content. Your problem is that there was no net to catch them. Would that make sense?
Yep.
So something effective, and then immediately have something to catch them. I hope that answers the question.
I think your answer to that question is yes, to actually hold back to the nearer startup date, the nearer launch date itself, and in order for you to actually create the net for the consumers to actually indulge in instant gratifications.
Yeah,
when they see the content and they are able to actually...
sorry to interrupt, but remember this as well. even your distribution or your release date of your content is also important, right? Just because you have brilliant content doesn't mean like, okay, this is beautiful, bang, put it out now. No, sync it up to the exact date of your release. If I were you, I would do something like this. I would spread it out. I would show it on TV first, right? Because TV is one of those mediums where it takes you a longer time because you see it over a period of time, like you follow a drama, you see it over a period, and then it begins to seep in, okay, buy this product. This one can be further before the release date. If I'm doing like an Insta campaign where like share this video now and then you get a discount on this product, I don't want to do it this far. I want to do it closer to the date because this, I want instant action. I know that new content is going to be popping up all the time. This I release here. It could be the same video, but on this platform, I do it 1 week before. In this platform, I do it 1 day before. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Choosing different platforms to be launched at different timeline, you know. Okay, I think we've reached to the end of our session. Thank you, Eden. And really a round of applause again, you know, to be given to you for a job well done. All right, and you know, we really look forward towards your course and launching your course in MIS pretty soon. Okay, thank you, Eden. Now, next, of course, you know, Eden is actually our newly acquired trainer. So do look out for more of his course coming up that you can actually pick up from the Marketing Institute of Singapore. All right, so this is the QR code to scan, and then you know, so look at the dates itself, part 1 and part 2, which will be commencing in June. All right, 10 to 11 of June, and from 16 to 17 of June, that will be the part 2 of content creation by Eden. Now, next, we would like to also feature our next speakers that will be coming up. As you know, this is our second series of our lunchtime webinar. All right, so in support for our Stay Home for SG hashtag. Okay, so tomorrow we will be having another top trainers coming on board. Yeah, she's none other than Miss Cecilia Sim, where she'll be touching on topics on proactively getting into the selling action. Now, Cecilia has been wow, she's been a trainer with MIS for a long time. And equally like Eden, she can speak Mandarin. Okay, I happens to know you know, one of our networking sessions, hey, 我可以教华文没问题，我以华文来教课。So to our Chinese audience, 如果是说你对我们新加坡营销协会的课程有兴趣的话，你不妨可以上网就是关注我们的网站。Okay, so for those, you know, if you are interested to attend course, don't worry, we are conducting our course online. So it can be at any part of the world. Just log on to MI's website and sign up for the course. So do look out for Miss Cecilia Sim, which will be coming on board tomorrow, same time at 12:30. All right, so please join us again tomorrow. Now, before you leave, I've got just this message to perhaps reiterate again. Now, if you missed out our lunchtime webinar for yesterday, we're giving away the Marketing 4.0 book, authored by Philip Kotler and the co-author, which is Hamawan Katujaya and Iwan Setawan. Now, this book is actually cost at $38 Sing per book. So we're giving away free for 3 of such books, this book. So do look on to our Facebook and tell us why do you think you need this book or why you like this book. And we will select our winners from there and we will send we will send the book to you. And do like us on our Facebook. And since we are going on live, help us to share our Facebook with your fans. Okay? All right. So let's go on to the next slides. Now, remember, Eden is also part of our trainer in our executive development program. So do look out more for our training programs. We've got more trainers coming up, such as Eden. Now, Eden, I think you're removing your jacket right now. All of us can see, no worries about that. Okay, now the Marketing Institute of Singapore will be voted, 5 years in a row as the #1 corporate training provider in Singapore by the HRM Asia. So that speaks volume on the quality of our training program. All right, so do look out for our training programs. We hope that you'll be able to benefit from our training programs so that to keep yourself relevant for the industries post-COVID, okay? All right, so next. These are the 9 major disciplines and you can always pick up one of this course from 120 over courses, okay? All right, which brings me to my next slide. Our diploma, again, I can't reiterate enough. It's good to actually have an academic diplomas back you up, especially in today's digital age. I think an advanced diploma in digital marketing would be utmost important to arm yourself with, besides the diploma in business and the diploma in sales and marketing. So contact us, if you know of someone that really need to upgrade themselves. So this will be a very good time for you to do so, okay? Especially all of us are actually locked down at home. What can we do? Okay, other than watching TV, let's do something, invest in something that will benefit your career. Okay, so log on to our MIS Business School website to find out more. Okay, I think we've got one more last slide. Yes. Join us as our member. So like what we said, we are giving away free membership for this month. So please make use of that opportunity, send in your requests, and we will ensure that you get your membership card, okay, before the end of the lockdown period, okay? Right, and we are also doing our very bit in terms of our mass donation for our neighboring countries in Philippines, for the underprivileged. So scan the QR code. So it's just $20 a box of masks where you can benefit 50 of the underprivileged residing in Philippines right now. Okay, so I think we've reached the end of our sessions for today. Thanks for joining us, and we will certainly look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I think the last slide there is on Eden again. Please click on the QR code. And thank you, Eden, for that wonderful performance today. So I'll see you tomorrow.
That was what you told